Babinov played it inside the Philadelphia line. Now some heavy bumping from the Flyers in the corner. Sittler throwing the check there. For Bobby Clark. Clark right side pass. Coming back for Carson. Whistle down on the offside. The game 4 minutes and 15 seconds old.
Well, temper's flaring just a little because of the check after the whistle.
One pass too many as Howe chose to pass rather than shoot the puck. Dvorak inside the blue line.
Philadelphia team just had an excellent chance with Clark and Howe and Sittler down in front. They really spread the people out. They leave two people all the way up at the blue line to make sure the Soviets can't put too much pressure on them. They bring that puck up ice, especially with Mark Howe, who's got great speed and good puck handling ability.
Mark Taylor in the corner against Vidya Letdina. Left there, the shot drifts wide from Sinisalo. Sinisalo with Paddock. Paddock goes down and a check in the Soviet corner. Forced back down the ice by Zlutkov. Left there at center ice for Carson. Carson bumped hard by Bozakov. Very physical right now. Past the midway mark of the period. 9:28 to play. A scoreless hockey game. The crowd roaring. Kozhevenikov. Vasilyev bodied there in the corner. His first shift tonight. Now Kozhevenikov drifts it in front for Vasilyev. Intercepted, but held in by Bykov. 2-on-1. Here's the pass directly in front. Vasilyev scores for the Soviet Union, who take a 1-0 lead with 7:11 to play in the first period. We approach the 15-minute mark of the period. Trop having difficulty at center ice against Timonev. Timonev sending Kutov inside the line. Taken down by Howe. Howe falling on the play. Comes in front of the goal. Here's a shot. Kutov scores. A wide open chance on the rebound. Hoffmeyer drifting a shot down beside Tretiak.
Bobby Clark giving the Russians the first power play opportunity of the evening as he gets called for tripping right there in front of Bruce Hood, taking out the Russian defenseman. So Bobby Clark sitting out the penalty, the Russians having their first power play opportunity of the evening.
Hood fairly lenient so far, has called just one other. That was to Pervukin back in the first period for interference. 15:29 to play. The Soviet power play not overwhelmingly effective here in this series so far. Just 5 goals in 28 chances.
Well, the Philadelphia Flyers have just called Khrushchev's stick for a measurement, and should that be bigger than a half-inch, that's a good call by McGammon. If it's bigger than a half-inch, I'm sure they know it is. That would allow the Russians to get a penalty.
Yeah, you can obviously see there that this stick is illegal. And penalty's being called by Bruce Hood. That'll be 2 minutes for playing with an illegal stick.
I think McCammon had a 100% chance of getting a call.
Right,
they are
there.
all way out of whack in terms of regulation.
Especially this fella. He and Fedosov are the two worst. But they had been talking earlier about fixing him. Apparently the Flyers had them checked before the game, and he's a little disturbed. But that's why rules are made.
Over to the other point. Drifts it in for Larianov. Kutov back to Fedosov. Right beside the goal. A pretty play, and it's 3-0 for the Soviet Union as they whip that puck around. The Labatt's Player of the Game Awards will be presented to the outstanding players on each team as selected by our telecast crew. They will each be receiving, as they have throughout the series, a Panasonic Way mini stereo cassette player. We've got something going on now at the bench. Bruce Hood skates over again. Another measurement. Let's go to Lou
here
Dolan.
we go again. Stick measurement. Looks like a banana. Vasilyev stick. And here it comes. Referee Bruce Hood. 2-minute minor to Vasilyev. Playing with an illegal stick.
You know, I was talking with Tom Watt, the Winnipeg Jets coach who worked on our telecast. He would like to see the rules scrapped altogether. How do you feel about it?
Well, actually, I think he's probably right. I don't know why you can't use a stick with a bigger hook, say, than a half an inch. The reason why they finally put the rule in, when you had a fellow like Bobby Hull shooting that puck with that big curve, it used to play tricks on the goaltender. They were afraid a goaltender was going to get hurt, but the goaltenders are really well protected right now. And you could probably put nearly as much spin with a half-inch curve as you could with an 1.5 inches. So if a fellow wants to use it, it takes away maybe from some of the other parts of the game, and it might be worthwhile to extend it to an inch or an 1.5 inches.
However, the rule is in effect right now, and Vasiliev will indeed serve the Soviets' second minor penalty for an infraction of the curve on the stick. The stick also thrown out of play by Bruce Hood as he announced the penalty after the measurement. The Soviet sticks, most that I've seen and Lou Nanne have seen, are all that way. This can go on all night. Here's Howe. Blasting one wide. Oh, and Holmgren fanned on the rebound. Howe again scores! Flyers on the board. Now it's 3-1. Almost 7 years ago. But the Flyers won that one. Dvorak. Inside the blue line. Here's Brutov shooting a high blast. Lindbergh handled that. Have it inside that Philadelphia Flyers zone again. Cleared to the blue line. Not out. Jam away. Finally force it at the blue line as they poke forward along the boards. And the Soviet Shepelev kept it in while he fell. Shepelev down to the corner. Semenov in front. Shepelev brought it right out in front. Here's the shot. He scores. Number 31, Anatoly Semenov. 5-1 for the Soviet Union. Flyers now at the break on the right side. But again, the Soviet defender Kazatanov closed off. Tom Gorant's coming in right out in front. They bat away at it. Kretschak is down. Barber there as six go high, pushing and shoving. Reaching over now for a punch to the left hand of one of the Soviet players. Sittler in the middle of the melee as well, as tempers flare late in this third period. Taylor against Starikov. Dumps it back to the corner for Holmgren. Bumped off the puck by Babinov. They jam it for a face-off. Tempers flare once again. There's a punch thrown by Holmgren. Babinov is angry, as you can see, on the previous confrontation.
Oh, Holmgren throwing left at Babinov. A little upset in there, and we're going to have penalties. A little roughing going on in there. Holmgren taking him out with a check, getting hit back and getting somewhat upset. We see that's right. He's just letting them know who's getting the penalties, and they're getting Paul escorted over to the box also. You see the little skirmish right there as Babinov takes him in, and then they're going at it. Paul's going to throw a left at him, I think, in about 1 second here. Right there. Babinov looked like a good boxer. He just got his head back just in time. Paul very upset. One thing they're doing really effectively is taking the center ice away from the Flyers and just continually forcing them to come up the side to the defenseman.
This night began with emotion and excitement and drama. And the waving of 15,000 American flags. There's a shot right on Kretschak. He makes the save, but I'll tell you, the Soviets took away all the enthusiasm, and here we go again. Fedosov, the Soviet captain, involved there. Darryl Sittler and Bill Barber.
Well, Billy doesn't usually get involved in this way. Billy's a complete hockey player. He plays his game extremely cleanly. Probably just getting a little frustrated here, but you have to look at the Soviet defenseman. He's going to wrap him right up after Barber's just going for the net. You see that? Fedosov just grabs him. The whistle had already blown. You can't blame Billy for getting a little upset right there, but the face-off again coming out, and that's one thing you don't want to do. There really was going to be nothing happening there, so just allow it to stay. The defenseman should have stayed out at the blue line.
Thanks to all the technical crews, production crews that have joined us in the 6 National Hockey League cities to make this series a success. Prism is the producing company here in Philadelphia, providing facilities for us. They do the Philadelphia Flyers games regularly. We thank them. Face-off comes out over the blue line, and that should just about be it as the clock here at the Philadelphia Spectrum ticks down now to 5 seconds. Cochran rolls it inside the blue line. And the National Hockey League Soviet Series 83 is over with the Soviet Union's national team winning tonight 5-1. Another great game by Kretschak, and winning the series over the National Hockey League 4-2. And perhaps the NHL next time, Lou, might consider playing all the games in the province of Alberta. That's where the 2 wins came.
Well, there's a little bit of difference, as you know, because this team is their select team, but it was a great experience for all the clubs. I know for our own team, the Minnesota North Stars, we were very pleased to have the opportunity to play, and we felt that we gave a good effort 6 minutes in our game. As you know, you can't leave 6 minutes out of a game, but that was a big difference for us, and we're hopeful that we gained something from it.